What's up, YouTube? I hope you guys had a great week. It's been a crazy couple days. We saw gold hit some crazy all-time highs, and we saw it get wiped out just as fast, which was kind of interesting to see over the price action. But I didn't really trade gold as much this week. But I really want to touch on two things today. Is really just the trade on futures that I took during the Thursday Globex session going into Friday, and the Friday options trade that I took. If this is your first time following, please drop a like and subscribe. It means a lot and it helps me out. So I'm going to dive straight into this. So this is the Globex session that we opened. And so as you can see, this was coming out of a very sharp day that basically favored for the shorts prior day. As I talked about in our prior video, I managed to catch a long on that New York session, which I got 100% on with that trade. And now coming into the day, I was looking for us to see what were we going to do. Were we going to continue to retrace the slump, or are we going to continue down? And so although I wasn't at the charts for the Globex session, you can see that there was great opportunity. We opened during the Globex and we respected the 200 EMA and a channel that I had drawn here as well, which I actually in my prior videos, you'll recognize this blue channel because I actually did long off this channel earlier on the week, or it was last week, can't remember anymore. But nevertheless, yeah, we had some good ranging action in between here. And then pretty much later on, once we kind of found continuous weakness and we broke below the channel, we pretty much continued further down from there. You can see that the 200 EMA continues to be a really great indicator tool to reference. Again, I don't think we should ever just trade simply off of just the indicator alone. I think there are other things that we want to run in conjunction with trades, right? But nevertheless, some great opportunity that presented itself. Although I didn't get a chance to capture any of this, I remember noting this to the students actually, this was a perfect, nice V move up from the 737 AOI that I have had. And again, you might be familiar with that by now. And the way that we moved all the way up and tested the VWAP and 200 EMA as well. So a nice long opportunity presented itself over the course of this part of the Asia session, which was about midway through. This was about 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. What I did manage to catch was the short here later on. So I was, this was like pretty much just before I was doing bedtime routines for my kids, but I managed to catch the short here as we consolidated beneath the VWAP and the 200 EMA. I shorted this NQ with my Lucid trading account. And so if you guys have been following on Instagram, I actually shared it already. It's actually, yeah, it's posted as well actually under my recap. But this week's performance has been very strong for me on Lucid. You can see that I was ranked in the top 10 actually for trading performance, and that's just, they rank it more so by PNL, but more importantly, I think the stats have had a really solid week with an 87.5% win rate with only 24 trades taken. And so overall pretty solid, and that sounds like 24 trades may sound like a lot, but obviously depending on whether it's trimming or what have you, and also I have multiple accounts and I trade them individually, so that kind of plays a factor and role in that as well. But I did manage to capture the short that the moment that we broke beneath the level and kind of held beneath the level here after we had held beneath the VWAP and 200 EMA, I took the shorts to the downside and I basically caught the move all the way down. I trimmed at the channel and closed off at the 737 AOI. And although we considered moving lower, I'm okay and content. Again, I'm not always looking to capture the whole move. Capturing a piece of the pie is more than enough for me. And I think that's, for me, how I've sustained what I've sustained over the course of time. And then coming into the New York, this was very tricky. I think it was very tough for many people. I myself basically had a break-even day on this for the most part. I knew I wasn't going to be able to be at the charts for the remainder of the day. So I'll touch on what was a good entry afterwards. But I did take an entry here. I was looking for shorts. I mentioned it in the Discord somewhere in this area already. I said I really liked the way that we were double topping and I was looking for a short. I didn't take it at this point in time yet. I didn't feel easy because there was some news coming out. I think it was at 6:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I really wanted to see how the market was going to digest that too. When we started to triple top at this channel though, that's when I was kind of like, okay, I think this is a good time to short, right? So I did take a short entry here. I didn't take it up here because I didn't know, because the way that we kind of were just holding these wicks here, I wasn't sure if we were going to bounce here and continue further and kind of essentially recover the losses from the prior day. But anyways, we had obviously using the daily bias, the short was very valid. So I managed to capture about a 40% trim here at this candle here on options is what I took. I think it was 623 puts is what I took, 0 TDEs. And then this big 2-minute candle came out of nowhere, and it kind of, from here on out, I was watching. I said that if we moved above this red candle here at 7:36 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I was just going to close my contracts out. And at that point, my contracts were about negative 20%. So I trimmed for 40% and then I took a negative 20%. Essentially, it was a break-even trade because I had trimmed about 33-40% of my position size for 40%. So I still had 60% of the original position. And so when I closed it off for 20%, negative 20%, that essentially basically broke even the position overall. So I was content. And I think that I want to talk about like being able to walk away being an important factor, right? I know historically in the past, I have forced trades during ranging days and I've just, paid the price for that. And of course, there are strategies and ways you can trade the range, but today was just not the day that I was looking to do that. There's a lot of outside factors for me as to why today was a one and done type of day. And so I didn't get it. But, it was still great to see that the move worked out later on because quite literally, I would say what, 20-30 minutes after, I mean, the move essentially happened, right? So I missed out on that, but that's okay. I think the market mindset of abundance is something that we want to make sure that we kind of digest and internalize, because there will be other days. There will always be other days, right? What I really liked about the setup here is that, again, this could have been a fake out, so I can see why people would not have wanted this. I know some people got really wrecked by this, the way that we moved back up, thinking that they would continue after we lost this, but this was the test of the news candle low here. You can see here. Hopefully that's easy to see on your end. But what I like was the lower high. We rejected the VWAP, the opening print, 200 EMA, all of that. And this basically was a really nice entry for shorts. And if you managed to catch it, then either you caught a decent move or you caught the full move. I mean, either way, good opportunity here. And you can see here by the time that we hit the low of day wasn't a random spot. The low of day not only was for me as an area of interest and as it has been for over a past week or so, but it was also the New York session low of day prior day. So, I mean, I think that just, again, paying attention to the bigger picture always and zooming out and not being stuck on the smaller time frames is really important when we're trading. And then also the last thing I want to touch on is that what made this entry also is if you're in the Discord already, and if you have the FF indicator, you'll know that was a very clean entry actually, because as you can see here, this is the 5-minute time frame and this is the 5-minute trigger line. You can see during the range, we're ranging up and down, and so didn't leave a lot of room for us to really take a good entry. But the way that we put in a lower high here, you can see that we finally had a chance to move beneath the 5-minute trigger. And not only did we move beneath like we did prior, but we retested the 5-minute trigger and held that as a lower high. And you can see that we continue to hold that as well on the next lower high if you missed that one. So some good entry opportunity just by using the FF indicator. And you can see that for the most part, it respected the trend line of that indicator. So yeah, anyways, some opportunity there. I think, if you have this indicator already, if you missed this is some good journal notes for you to take back and take a look at where we could have reassessed and could have taken these trades differently. But all in all, it's been a pretty good week overall for me. It's been a good month. I'll take the time to put another video together, hopefully maybe later on this evening or maybe tomorrow, to touch on how the month was, as January's month is already put to a close. And I would say for the most part, I've been able to achieve my goals of trading less trades, and focusing more on the quality, because I've been spending more time with education with students and all that as well. And then on the options front as well, continue to, keep up with the heater that I was on from late last year as well. So anyways, hopefully that helps. And as always, drop comments down below if you have any questions. Be more than happy to help out where I can. And yeah, anyways, enjoy the weekend, man. I'll catch you guys next time.